Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X like I do almost all weekends. Next week, and I'm not going to actually be here. I have to go to a wedding. I may stream on Friday. I don't know. I took the day off before I went on this excruciating journey. I have to take like an hour plane, not a big deal, to like a 6-hour wait to a 4-hour bus ride. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's gonna be miserable. Getting there and getting back is like an all day event. I leave my house at like 4 a.m. and I would like to be able to sleep during that time, but it's these little breaks. I don't even know where I would sleep for those 4 hours or the 5 hours or whatever it is when I'm in Reno. Reno of all places. So we are working here on county exploration. This has been a big thing we've been trying to get to for a long time. And I noticed when I fired this up this morning that this is 42% explored. It should say 42%. 42% explored. So that will be the first thing we fix. So 2D4X is like a strategy game that is inspired by like Dominions. I always say Dominions first because I don't know why. I don't know why, but Dominions and the Paradox games like Crusader Kings and whatnot. So that's what we're working on. It takes place in North America. Right now we're just doing Oregon because that's where I live and one county in Washington. Let's see here. So let's fix this percentage thing first. So this is for localization. I'm using Godot .Net, which is the C# version of Godot. Yeah, we'll just rename this to percentage explored, and then we'll do this percent explored. Percent explored. I was thinking about this particular thing when I noticed it. It's kind of an interesting thing. So oh shit, I didn't click these buttons. I gotta click these buttons every time, and I've been forgetting this of late, where I activate my stream chat here. It looks like both of them are working, hopefully. This one didn't do anything. There we go. When I said both, what? Sign in? I don't want to sign in. I want to refresh. Is it doing anything? I don't. There we go. Magic Man, how's it going? Well, YouTube is working. It's usually the other way around, where YouTube is not working, and I have issues. I'm gonna do a test on this and make sure that I can see it over here. Okay. All right. Everything's great. So yeah, we're fixing this. We got to translate this to. You're a YouTube person? I feel like YouTube is easier to get people to follow, but they interact less. Twitch is much more chatty. I'm making here we go. Strategy game, a 2D 4X one. It's 2D and it's a 4X game. Whoa. And we are working on setting them up exploration of a county so that like your hero. Did that go? I guess so. So that your hero can explore the county and find new things. I am using Godot in C#, so there's neither HTML or CSS. Godot's a game engine that is open source. I was using Unity originally, but I switched over. And it has its own little scripting language called GDScript. But it also supports C#, and so I'm doing C#. So we also need to have this fixed. This is in the wrong spot now. And I had it open earlier. Percentage. It's all caps, though. Percentage. Explored. Why aren't you showing up? All right, we'll do it with our eyeballs. Searching with your eyeballs is oh, it's right here. Are you a programmer yourself? I'm always interested in meeting and hearing about new games, new game developers, JavaScript people. There are a lot of JavaScript people. I think that's the most that I've encountered so far. It's always JavaScript, not always, but regularly JavaScript. All right, so this should fix this, I guess. Python. So GD script, if you ever decide to use Godot, is based on Python, so it's very similar. If you want to ever use that, I don't know anything about Lua. Is that even how you say that? Oh, this isn't going to work, actually. We got to re-import this file every time. Every time you got to re-import it, and we need to close it. And hopefully we won't have to do any more localization today, because I'm tired of doing it. But it is nice to have it. Where the fuck is this thing? It is nice to have it, the ability for it to be translated. Why can I not? It's right here. I was looking for this red X. Re-import. And then we'll do this. Are you going to school or teaching yourself? I am self-taught. Chat helps me. Chat helps me a lot. Do I like scones or scones? I don't know what those are. Is that a programming thing, or like, are you talking about the food? Because I do like scones. 42% explored. I really don't like this word percent, honestly. I think just a percent sign. The food? Yeah. No, I used to eat scones all the time because I'm a big coffee drinker. This is coffee right here. And I used to get scones right because I like how like dry. This makes them sound like they're not good. Dry and caked in dryness and mixed with some coffee. Oh man. Oh, nice. So you're like a baker? My real in real life, my last name's Cook, and I used to always joke when people ask me what my last name was, I would say Baker just for fun. As you know, when you're young, you do stuff like that. All right, so that's fixed. I mean, this is a temporary thing, but we are going to put a real number in it. We'll just deal with this, that this isn't the symbol, because I think it'll be fine. This is all like, almost everything's temp until we do the beautification process. So I noticed that last week we also set up, because I couldn't remember, these folders for the story events, exploration events, and we have found remnants. We have 2 of these in here that we were testing, and when we run the game, it shows right here that it loaded these from disk. I think that's here. Yeah. What is your favorite thing to bake? I am a huge chocolate pie guy. Chocolate pudding, I guess it is. I used to like get one of my mom would make them for me when I was younger. Now I live in a different state. Let's fix this thing. Oh no, this is not to be fixed because we're gonna do something with this. This needs to be public still. And read only, I think it can be read only though. But we are going to make this this needs to be public because we're going to read from it. So what we're doing here is we're loading each. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to have, well, we're not 100% sure. I say we because chat, like I said, helps me a lot. They tell me when I'm doing stuff noobishly. I don't know. So we're going to have like these lists that are generated per county. I just spit. I gotta shave, man. My beard has gotten to the point where like it collects liquids, and that's what it just did. We're gonna make a list per county, and I think that's actually where we were, and we had this ruins thing where I just made a second one. It's equal. We'll actually put 2 here just so that we have a distinguishing between the two. But I think in county generation, so that every time we add a new feature to the game, what happens is I have to rethink it, and um, my original plans don't work. Not it's because either usually they're too lofty. I usually have these crazy plans where I'm like, oh my god, and we're gonna do it like this, and then when it comes down to the time to do it, it's like, oh my god, this is impossible, and so we make it simpler. But the original plan is to have each capital. So there's a capital. See, these are different colors. So that's by when the game starts, everyone's only going to have one county to start. But for testing, we needed some counties that some factions that had more than one county. So this one has 3 counties, but this is the capital. Is this the capital? Yeah, this is the capital. I was thinking, I wonder why they don't have 20 people. They should have 20 people in there. I'm not going to worry about it right now. There's probably a setting where I have it for AI gets less, but that's, we're going to adjust it when we actually have the game. But so each capital, the original idea was each capital, which there would be like 10, there would be like 50 capitals, and when we do multiplayer, that you could have up to 10 people, and it would spread you out through all of North America. So there would be more like 60, 70 capital, faction capital places where they're special, and it would be kind of by state, but we're calling them provinces, so it's going to be by province, and these capitals would have all the same possible events to make it balanced for multiplayer. So we would have this giant list of events that the heroes can search for that were randomly generated per game, but each capital would have the same events so that it was balanced. I know I just said this, but I'm reiterating. So it was balanced for multiplayer. So because population is so important in this game, because you have so few population, one of the things that events can get you is more population. So what I was thinking is if you did a completely random one for where the different players could start, so if someone might unfairly get no new population, and then they would be screwed and they would lose the game. So if you ever played Dominions, which I always mention Dominions, that's quite possible in Dominions. Dominions is incredibly unbalanced, but that's kind of the fun of it. But I've done multiplayer games with my friends. It's turn-based. I've done multiplayer games with my friends where in the first 3 turns, someone gets whacked. They're dead. They're gone. And so then we restart the game. And we'll restart. The farther along we go, the less likely we are to restart. And we'll just tell them to suck it up. Sometimes it's just their biggest army that they've ever built is destroyed. That kind of randomness is kind of part of the fun of Dominions, but occasionally it's incredibly unfun where you get this random event that wipes out almost your whole you're still alive, you just have one county left and you're struggling, and while your friends are expanding like mad. And so that's kind of one of the beauties of Dominions, but it's also kind of one of the sucks. So there's actually a random event where this guy named Bogus shows up. I swear to God, it's this one. There's another one too, but he's wiped my factions out before, my whole area out. I think his name's Bogus. Anyways, so I was trying to avoid that from happening, but I'm now thinking maybe we set it up and it is truly random per capital. I think that's what we'll do for now, because this is the thing. We were talking about this last time. We added this last time in. So these are the different terrains that are available. There's only 3 of them in each county. So you see how these are different. So we are manually setting these. So when we set up the map, we'll go through and we manually set what these 3 things are. These are going to pull different random events, and that's what these folders are. I know I got a lot of preamble here. So it's going to go through and it's going to read when it's generating every event in coast, every event in desert, and then it's going to generate these random things. But you're only going to get random events for ruins, river, and forest, right? Um, and that will make it even more random, but then also we're going to have to try to balance it, basically. But I think what we'll do is we'll do truly random, and when we get to the point, which is, 5 years from now, when we have playtesting start, we'll have to like listen to what the players say. Like if it is like the multiplayer and if multiplayer starts happening and people are like, it is so unfair. Sometimes you get these random events and you're screwed. The order was always going to be random. When I was talking about, so let's say you had the same 10 random events for every faction, or for every capital. The order was always going to be a different order to make some randomness in there, but I think we should just do truly random. What we could do is we could say 30% should be population, 30% should be whatever. Yeah, we can do that, and we can have different population ones. There's all sorts of ways to do that, but let's prep this kind of how we need to do it. So we're going to need something to differentiate between these, I think. I think in the story event data, we're going to need an enum that says the type. Yes, we are. And we're going to have to keep expanding this story event data. It's gonna be a thing for today. So we also could turn this into an int, possibly. So let's do this title description, and we'll do a story event type. Export. Whoops. Export. Hey, it read my mind. Story event type, but no, this is not going to be a string. This is going to be an enum. Do we have an enum for story event type? We'll actually have it. We'll have a terrain. This is, let's go back to this. This is going to be a story event terrain type. And for some reason, I was calling it biome. So if we see biomes, we gotta fix that. Terrain. There we go. And what we could do is we could manually assign each one of these. We could go in here. Here, let's build this. Did I not save this or something? We could manually set this, but I think what we'll do instead is so I did this for organization because we're gonna have like a bazillion events. That's the goal, at least. And if we create one in Coast, we want to have a balanced amount, but they're going to be different. You know what I mean? But I think what we'll do is when we read it from disk, we'll just assign the event type because we're already getting it right here. We're getting, ruined exploration. If this is gonna read it from the ruined one. How are we doing this? We're doing this very temporarily. I guess I don't want to assign it manually though, because it's too error prone. If we add an enum, then we have to go back and fix them all. So let's do this. We know that this is currently, how many do we got? I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I guess it doesn't really matter how many, but if we do it alphabetically, we can do a for loop instead of a for each loop. I guess we don't even have a for each loop. What is this thing doing? It's just straight up reading this one because this was our test last weekend. Let's see. So I gotta spam. Man, I can't believe that this is not. I can't believe that this is still a thing, like selling viewers. What is that? How much money do they make off this? I looked it up once and it was surprisingly inexpensive. Because I was curious like how much money the bots make, the bot runners make. So the whole internet just bots at this point. I feel like sometimes, most of the time, especially on Reddit. I look at Reddit all the time, and I often wonder, like, is this just a bot replying to everyone? Can't even tell the difference. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna need a thing that reads each directory. What we'll do is we'll manually put in. Do we want to do an array? We're adding this to all story events. We're going to have to do a different list for each one, too. So I pre-planned this poorly. But that's pretty normal for me to pre-plan things poorly. Oh, this one says all ruined story events. So we'll do 2. We'll copy. What am I doing here? Copy, paste. And then this will be all, what was the first one? Coast? Yeah. So we'll do all coast events next. Actually, it will be first. All coast events. And then what we'll do is we'll have this big long thing. This will be the exploration event exploration directory. We'll get rid of this thing, and then we'll have a new string down here, private string ruin directory equals, we need some quotes in here though, and then that, and then what is this? What do you got there? And then we'll copy this, and that didn't work. Come on, man. The whole thing was... What is my problem? What is going on here? There's like... Do I have like insert on? I think I did. Is copying? Okay. Alright, everything's fine. We're just doing things wrong. And then we'll do coast directory. And then we'll do coast. And then... that will be our 2 for this test. So we have this big long one that is there, then we'll just add this to the end of it. And so then we can make a list of these right off the bat. You know, we kind of do this in enums. How did we do that? It's right here. Look at this big gap here. I always have to look up everything because my memory's shot. Get train name. What we'll do, I'm just looking, there's certain things that I like never have really done like this, where I just create the list, because I'm almost always creating it with a whatchamacallit, with like a for loop or for each loop, usually for each loop now. But I think what we actually want to do is, why don't we do this? We go private list of strings terrain directories, and then we go, how did I do that? Like this? Where was that shit? All enums equals, oh, brackets, equals, brackets. Get out of here. Brackets. No, the other things, not squigs. And then we put in, what is this, with commas or some shit? It is with commas. Look, this is a dollar sign. I don't think we need the dollar sign, though. That's because it's getting translated. So if we go like this is my, I guess I could have done both. Then we go, no, I could not have done both. And then we put this here. And then I don't think we need a comma. Yeah, is it telling me that, is that gray? I need glasses badly. Okay, so then we'll go through this list. We'll just go through it and read all this shit with this list. And then we'll somehow do something. Because we need them to be in different lists when they're added. So we need to read everything. Actually, let's put something in here. That didn't work. I tried to Control C, Control V there. We'll duplicate this, and we'll say coast. Coast found. Why am I not using spaces? And then we'll just say this one is coast. These are all tests. We're going to make some real ones here in a second, and this is going to be coast 1. Well, when I say a second, it's going to be a long time. So we have 1 in coast and 2 down here. Let's add a third thing in, because there is no coast in Portland. Portland has ruins, river, and forest. We're also going to require certain stuff, like a fisher shed can only be in ruins and river. So if you're over here in desert, plains, and ruins, you wouldn't be able to do a fisher shed. Though probably if you really were in this area, you could. I bet you there's enough water here to. In fact, that looks like a lake right there. Single Wings, how's it going? I was talking earlier. There's a lot of JavaScript developers. I was wondering too. I was like, the first JavaScript developer that says they're a JavaScript developer that shows up. You lost your voice. What were you doing? Like, because you're sick, or were you like at a show or something? Why does this website suck so bad? What did they do wrong? Can you go in and put a pull request to fix this website? It's called GitHub. It sucks. That's a bummer. That's a huge bummer. So let's put another one in here that we actually are going to use. We'll do river. Ruins. Yeah, we'll just do river. We'll duplicate whatever and do river. So why does that website suck? What are they doing wrong on GitHub? You figure GitHub would know river. Then we'll put this down here. I don't know why this thing just popped up. And then we'll change this to river. These are all tests. We don't want to go too crazy with the tests, though, because we're going to have to go back and fix all these. Yeah, like it's so janky moving this stuff around. It's just this project thing. It's just this, see, that thing floats all the time. That's probably has something to do with my computer, though. But like moving these things around, it's so slow. I think I'm overusing it. Like I've had too many things in here in my project. I think that's the problem. And it's so, like, why is it so terrible? Moving them side to side is weird. Look how long that takes. Like, it's just, the whole thing is very poorly made. It's like they said, someone said, oh, you got to have like a competition with Trello, and then assign the interns to make it. No offense, interns. We put river in here. Okay. So, there we go. Ghost, river, ruin. We have these three things. We're going to go through this list. This is, yes, this is a list. I was thinking for a second there we were doing an array, and I don't want an array. I don't like arrays. That's why I like integration instead of creating. Oh, weren't you creating? You were using some other one. I have it on my list somewhere. So we're going to go for each string directory in Terran directories. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do a plus directory. Why? What does this open? You want a string? So you just need a quote right here. In here. No, that would be wrong. Why can't I add you together? All right, this is what we'll just do. We'll do string. Oh, I probably need a $sign in there. But that's okay. We'll do this directory to open. And we'll go equal $sign event plus directory. Why don't you let me plus this thing in here? What am I doing wrong? It's because my brain has stopped working. This doesn't need to be here. Or maybe it does. These are two strings. How do I normally do this? Notion. Yeah. Notion. And you told me about it a long time ago. So normally, how do I do this? I put a quote and then a plus at the end. So what I would do, because my brain had stopped working there for a second, is I would just put this I would put the squigs in. I would just squig this up. Plus. In fact, no, we don't want a plus in here. We could just do this. But wait, this is dumb. Why? Oh, because we're outside of the thing. Fucking. Okay, everything's fine. I could have just read the error as well. I think I can just put this back to plus. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I got to get my brain warmed up. Yeah, see, we were outside the thing. I can link the GitHub repo inside of a Notion page and then create the task board in that Notion page. Task board and so does it so it sounds like it basically does the same thing, but it's better than this. I don't want to move everything. Oh, it's too late. I'm too far in, but then this thing needs to actually be outside of this. I'm just like I said, I'm still getting my brain warmed up here. This needs to be like this. This thing needs to be over here. This thing needs to be outside of this. This, we can K and D this thing. We can go directory to open. It didn't like my K and D thing. Why don't you like that? Do you not want a string? Might not be initialized before. Okay, so wait, what are we doing here? This thing needs to be all the way the fuck down here. Why am I struggling today? Oh, you export it. That would be sweet. And then import it versus, and then I could try it. Because it's, man, I was just adding this new option panel column this morning before I started streaming. And I had to, I got to drag it like 4 things, and then it doesn't like slide on its own sometimes, and so it doesn't. Like right now, it won't move over to the right. So then I gotta move. Then I gotta go down here and drag this thing a little bit. It's just annoying. Okay, how do you do things? All right. So actually, this is, it's somebody on Discord mentioned like you could do this other thing. It's not this particular thing. with a for loop, and it made me think right now that, oh wait, I can just do a for loop and do this, because we want the enums to be assigned still, and if we for loop it, we'll know what enum it is by the loop, and as long as these things match up, oh, I don't. We might have to do desert for whatever. It'll be fine. I just thought of a better way to do this too. You actually, we don't. We can actually get the name of the directory. We don't need this crap. I don't remember how to do it, but we can get the name of the directory. We don't need this. We just have it read the directory, and then we can do it with a for loop, and we can assign the things. Yeah, why am I doing all this extra work? My brain hasn't warmed up. I'm just gonna excuse my excuse is my brain. Now I gotta remember how to do this. Where was I doing this? I was doing it in my other game. I think Hexpanzer. I went through. Is it in combat? No. Vehicle inventory sounds likely. No. Drawer node. It might actually be in the auto load. I kind of think I did this last time. You can export the view into a TSV, text separate, and import it into Sheets Notion. What the fuck is a TSV? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Print vehicles to console, create folders. This is not what I want. Let's open up the project writer. I think last time when I was trying to do this, what text is separating? What piece of text? Yeah, I remember last time it wouldn't do this. It wouldn't let me open it. Last weekend I tried this. It like flashes something. So then I did this exact thing, and then I went and I opened up just another thing of Godot. So what do you guys think about this? Tell me what you think. I was reading Reddit, and they were talking about Godot specifically, and somebody said that they upgraded to 4.5 Godot because I'm on 4.4. And someone said when you're developing a game, you should always just stick to the version you started development with unless there's a major reason to update. And I don't agree with that. And I was curious what other people thought about that, because it's weird to me that I would, while you're developing, I would keep up, like mine, I keep updating to the newest version so that once it's released, I probably wouldn't do that. But during development, you don't want to fall too far behind. And then when they might have like a major feature, and if you have to do the update, you've screwed yourself. We're looking for scripts here. I don't think it's in menu game. Actually, we know how we could figure this out. There's going to be a directory of resources in here, and there would be multiple resources. I think it reads, maybe it doesn't read different directories. We might have to write this from scratch. I kind of vaguely remember it going through the resources and pulling it depending on the directory it's in, but I don't see any, like there's nothing besides. I think what I was doing is I was reading it. Oh, tab separated. Okay, that sounds more familiar, because in Excel I will sometimes be like, is it comma separated, tab separated, whatever. Um, yeah, it doesn't look like I thought I had this. So what we can do, maybe I did it in a different game. What did I do it in Hex Demon? It's possible I did it in Hex Demon. Because I swear to God, I had this thing reading folders. No, I did do it. It's the different types of demons you can get. It reads through the folders, and I'm too lazy to refigure it out. Especially with me struggling to think this morning. So I was starting to talk about this earlier too. Oh wow, look at this. Look how stretched out this thing is. Oh, we're using forward on Hex Demon as well. Why is this dragged all the way over here? We'll leave it like that. So when you stream, yeah, so let's see. We have our demons. No, okay, maybe I'm wrong. We have hexes. We're just going to have to read it from tile sets. No. World map? No. Prefabs. Demons. Enemies. But none of these are in resources. Demons. No. Skills. No. Weapons. No. I guess I have to do it from scratch. When I say from scratch, I'll make ChatGPT write it. I swear I already did this somewhere though, but I probably spent more time looking for it than I have just if I would have done it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have it ChatGPT TSV is better imported to convert to CSV to use in Notion, but it's possible to transfer all those tasks. Minimal effort if you wanted. I should look at Notion again. It's on my list. I want to read. I want, let's be more clear. In Godot 4.41 C.NET, I want to go through this directory with a for loop and read each thing into a separate list that separate list for each directory, each child directory in the initial directory. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Whoops, I didn't paste in the thing. Loop through all the children directories inside main directory. For each child directory, read a certain type of file or data. You mentioned check thing. I'll assume it's files. Store the results in a separate list per child directory. Why is this so long? Files add. Okay, so another while loop. Directory reader. String. Directory. String list. Directory files equals new. So this is a dictionary. It says dictionary and I said directory. Okay, so we're opening the root path. If it's failed, we return, and it tells us it's failed. That makes sense. Then we get a list, and see this, I remember doing this. While this is not null or empty, so this is what it's going to do, is it's going to get next of each thing. I remember doing this. if current directory and entry is really with those dots. I mean, I know that's how you do it in like, you know, DOS. It's not DOS, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's putting the slash in there. It's getting the file list in the directory files. Is that what this was named? No, this is called dictionary. Oh, you called it direct. It's a dictionary that you call direct. My fucking brain. Okay. So it's going to get a file list, and it's going to go through each one. And then, oh, don't use var, you piece of shit. For each in directory key value pair, it's going to put a thing here. Read files in directory. So then after it does this, it's going to have this dictionary of directories with a list of files, right? At this point, read files. Yes, so that's what it's going to have. Man, when I first started programming, I loved dictionaries with lists inside of them. Love that shit. I don't do it as much anymore. In fact, I don't think in 2D4X I have that at all. Loved it though. It was like the best thing I'd ever discovered at the beginning. I don't wonder why I stopped using it. So I'd have like each county would be like the county name and like a list of all the stuff in there, and it was easy to get to the list of that county. Things have changed. Okay, so then read the files. We're opening list of files equals new. Return files. We're returning a list of strings. Okay, so that's this part. All right, that makes sense. But where are we getting the directory or getting the info? Is this for each example output? Files add. So this blah, blah. So this is returning the files. This is getting the file name, the files, and this is where we would. Do we need a list? So we have a dictionary of lists, but we don't know. So we can use this, but we're gonna change it all around. We'll copy this thing. We'll just put it somewhere. We'll put it at the bottom here, and we'll fix it. It's probably gonna get a bunch of errors, but that's okay. Okay, get this shit out of here. Public partial class ready. This shit can go. And then, okay, so the root directory, root path. I like that name, but we're gonna call this root. I like that. Root event. There we go. And we're gonna copy this thing. We're gonna go down to probably this first error here. We're gonna put it here. And then we're gonna get rid of this thing. And then root path. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that thing. And then we have this stupid dictionary. Okay, it might not be stupid, but yeah, so I keep bringing this up and then I get sidetracked. But it's kind of interesting. So there's a thing when you stream, there's something about like you're looking at chat, you're like talking, and like you're basically, long story short, you're much less efficient than you are, like your brain doesn't work. And so when you watch a streamer and you're like wondering why they're like flubbing what they're talking about, and whatnot, it's because they're like, the streaming is way more difficult for your brain to handle. And it's interesting. It makes me wonder like how shitty people are at driving when they're talking and stuff. Like their attention isn't all there. It's definitely like a thing. Collection of is only updated but never used. So why are you complaining? Can I access static field in static context? Did I stick something static in here? Oh, are we inside something dumb? We are not in anything. public void get all exploration events from disk. Sure. Didn't I already call it that though? I remember when I don't watch streamers that much. I actually watch them more now than I used to. But I remember I was really impressed by this one person who was like responding to every single chat message, and she was playing some sort of like zombie game, and she was like running into trees and things while she was talking, and there's just no way around that. It's definitely a skill, and your brain gets used to it to a point, but there's what did I call this one? Friggin' trees, yeah. This one. Okay, so I added all to this. I just wanted to make sure these weren't the same. We'll comment this out too, just for right now, because this is well, maybe we'll move it out of the way too, because we're gonna probably pull a few things out of here, but we are gonna rewrite this whole thing to be better. This was not the plan today, but if we can read these all from disk without having, I was gonna do this, all that garbage earlier, and I don't think we need to. I actually don't think we need this dictionary too. Okay, if directory equals null, fail to read, and it bails out. I don't like dir. I don't like dir. Directory. Dir list directory begin. What does this thing do? Initializes a stream used to list all files and directory using getNext function. Perfect. So then this is going to be the folder. So then this is the string is folder, and it's getting it in the directory. It gets the next folder. While the string is not null or empty, it gets all of the folders in here. What is up with this? Okay, all right. I didn't look at this closely last night when I was talking about the dots. So, you know, when you list a directory, it's talking, whoops. It's talking about these little guys. So it doesn't want, because it doesn't want you to be in an endless loop. Because those are the go up and go up and up. Actually, what is one dot? I don't think I've ever, CD dot, that's this one, and then CD dot dot is go up one, yeah. So CD dot is your current one. It's been a long time. And once again, my brain is barely working. Okay, so if the current directory, current directory, and it's not equal to these, because we don't want those. String child directory path. I must have deleted root path. Oh no, I renamed it to, oh, we got it up here too. So I always think it's weird. ChatGPT does this a lot, and there's probably a better way to do this, but I always feel like it's weird that you're manually putting in what it's going to tell you. So this says failed to open directory, this directory, which I mean, I know that's what you're trying to do, but I feel like it would be better if there's a better way to do it. Okay, so we are going to need this slash here because it's getting just a word, and it's adding the slash to the end, except I have the slash at the end. We don't need this slash. I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Okay, so then we get read files in directory. Okay, so this is reading. So what is this doing? We got our directory. We are root event directory plus the folder. We're adding this to the list. Do we actually want it to do that? Let's not have it do that. We don't need a list of the thing, this shit in there. I mean, we do, but we don't need a list of strings. We need it to actually add it to this other list. But the problem is, I want to add it to a specific list that I'm going to be accessing somewhere else. So we could use a directory or a dictionary to do that, but we'd have to access with a string. No. We could have a list of lists. I'm not joking. It sounds crazy and dumb, but because we could have a list of lists. We don't need the fucking directory or the dictionary because we'll have the enum. The enum is going to link. So we already we already know the enum right here. So we'll get, this is equal to 0, this is equal to 1. So we'll just use the list 0. Let's comment this out real quick since we don't need that right now. So this is gonna put it. If you can't beat him, beat him. Longlow, how's it going? So yeah, we could do a list of lists, or we could do an array of lists too if we really wanted to get crazy, but let's do a list of lists. So this is gonna be, I don't know if it will let us. Like I said, I used to do this all the time, but I stopped doing it. So up here, though, and then whenever we access this list, whenever we access this list of lists, we'll use the enums. So I guess it is going to be a dictionary, actually. It's going to be a dictionary list. I'm thinking, I'm imagining what the future holds. And so, yeah, I guess we'll do a dictionary. We don't need to export it. We do need to export it. Do we need to export it? Because then we have to make it a Godot thing. And I don't want to. I mean, we could. It's not the end of the world. No. So we have... No, we don't. We don't need to export it. I'm going to put a note on this. It's going to be private. Dictionary. This is going to be all enums, terrain, comma, list of story event data. And then we need another thing here. Man, and like I said, I used to use this all the time. I used to have so many dictionary lists. I wonder if that code's somewhere hidden away. The second game I started working on, I actually got pretty far on it, was a game where you created a cult. And that is where I was using all these dictionary lists. Loved them. Events by terrain. Dictionary equals. The enum is the terrain. So it's going to be the, coasts. That's the first one. That's the only one. Like ruins, river. And then we're going to have a list that will access. These are going to be all. In fact, we should say all. And then we'll have... actually, no. Let's not use all. Then we're going to... So we could... Because we're going to use this list when we generate another randomly generated list. We're going to probably also need another type of story event, like a resource, people, whatever. So back up to here. Where were we? So this thing, though, we don't want... So while this is null, if the directory does this, string child directory path plus folder file list, read files in directory. What is this thing doing? Files, open path, it's doing the next one. If the string is, while it's not null, files add. Entry subdirectory get next. List return files. M console and game dev console. I made it for Godot, dropped it in Unity, and now I have a version that works in both. What happened to it? Oh, that's pretty nice. You're still working in Unity sometimes, it sounds like? You haven't abandoned it completely? I put a post on my Discord about what was that? There's some other new Unity issue controversy. Uh, they did some. There's like a here. I'll post it. It's kind of it's like a week old or two here. Any way to shit on Unity that I can here. I'm wondering if my post will go to both. Let's see if this works. That did not work. That did not work at all. It said send a post to both, but did that go over? No, it did not. It did not go over to YouTube as well. Here, I shall post on YouTube as well. They're talking about a game developer getting screwed by Unity again. Some sort of weird. I don't know. You read it. I'm listening to G.G. Allen. I didn't pick G.G. Allen, but I am listening to G.G. Allen, and some of the recordings, like I don't know if you guys know anything about G.G. Allen, but he's insane. Well, he's dead, but he was insane. But some of the recordings are so fucking terrible that I have to skip ahead. Like, and some of the songs are so terrible that I have to skip them. Yeah, it does. It does seem like Unity. It's the money grubbing. That's the problem is the money grubbing. It always comes, you know. Uh, uh, yeah, and G.D. Allen's long dead. He's been dead for years and years. I think he OD'd on heroin or he killed himself. I can't remember the story. He kept saying he was going to kill himself on stage when he played a show, but I think he died afterwards. I think he went after a show and killed himself. He was a strange person. Um, he's like, you know, a punk rock legend, but he was also a piece of shit. You know, it's one of the, and he put out, you know, I'm just guessing here, 100 songs, and 90 of them are garbage. Uh, Anyways, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna stop staring at this and not doing anything. But we're gonna get this to work. I did not think we were gonna be doing this file reading right now, but I think if we get it to work this way, it'll be much better for the future. And that would be nice to not have to go back and rewrite stuff later. So let me throw up my break timer and let me pause my music you guys can't hear, and I will be right back. I'm still talking about GG Allen here. He's one of those people that you have to divorce the artists from their art. There's always that, oh my God, this person's a piece of shit. All right, we're done talking about GG Allen. Unless you guys want to keep talking about it. All right, what are we doing? I'm back from break. My music started. I turned off my break timer. And what are we doing here? We're getting this. We're the child directory. We're reading the files from directory. So let's go back down to this thing. We're opening that path file. Okay, we get the error, and it will return no files. It's returning no file. I guess it has to return something. So it's a list of strings, but we don't actually want a list of strings. We want a list that connects to that dictionary. I have to drink some coffee here. It's required. So I think we need to do this differently. So this is going to happen quite quickly too. This needs to be added, but we need a for loop in here or something. We need to keep track of which enum we're on. Oh, here's that dictionary. We don't want this. Wait, what happened to my for loop? Did I delete it? Oh, that was the first thing I was writing. Okay, so we need to do. Oh, but we can't for. We can. Okay, all right. This is what we do. All right, now I got it. We need to make this list of strings or whatever, and then we need to for loop through that and add all this stuff. So let's do this first. We'll get a list because it doesn't know. It's just giving us this thing's just going to give us a director or a dictionary of string list of strings. And the first part of the string is going to be the folder it's in. I'm guessing here. Here's the file list. Yeah, so it's going to give us. This actually will work. So we'll have this list of and then we for each through it. We actually don't need. No, we do. Okay, so then at the end we're gonna. I saw a for each thing in here. I saw a KVP put it in with a var. Where's that var bullshit? Okay, here it is. All right. So for this thing, we're gonna change this, and we're gonna go. We're not gonna use var because I don't like var. We're gonna use key value pair. Sorry, I'm switching my music again. And we're going to go key value pair. And then what's your problem? Oh, we need a thing. When you do the key value pair, you got to tell it what this is. This is a string, and then this is like what, a list of strings? List of, what is this? Yeah, this is a list of strings. And then, what's your problem? Fix with AI. I never can remember this, but I think this is right, but it obviously isn't. Key value pair string. Oh, I need another one of those. Key value pair in directories. Then we're gonna go key value pair. I don't like little little variable names. So this is gonna put the key. And this will be nice for what we're doing here. We could have just searched for this and fixed it. Key value pair, and then you know what I've told myself I was gonna do, and then I immediately didn't do it. We're gonna refresh YouTube chat every break because I noticed that the last couple of times it did not didn't work. It like croaked after a while. let's run this and see what it spits out. Let's see what it does. We need to put this somewhere. What did we call this? Get all. Where's my ready? Get all. Let's see what this does. Because I have a feeling it will give us a list. Then we'll go through the directories. We'll read all of the resources that are in there. We probably should have put a thing in if there's nothing there. We have to put a a GD print or something. We didn't get any errors. This would have happened very early on. Good God. Oh, look at how it did a little dash. Okay, so it found in the directory coast found remnants. Then the next one we had river found, and then we have these two. So that it found the stuff. We're in good shape here. What is this doing open? We don't need this crap. We can jump down and well, we're already here. So then when we get to this for each part, which is right here, get rid of this thing. Directory, and then this is where it put the file. For each string file in, so this is where we need to for. We need this to be for. Yeah, we need this to be for. I was thinking we couldn't do it, but no, we can. Because we have... Is this going to work? I haven't written a for loop in a long time. For I... okay. I is... God damn it, I can't remember how. It's been that long. C# for loop. Statement, give me an example. Oh yeah, I equals 0. Here we go. For, get out of here. I is less than dictionary key value pair value count. Okay, so it's going to go through each one. So in this, we're going through each every entry in the dictionary, and then we're doing the value, which is the list, and we're going through each one. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. We need this to be up here, because we need it to count the directory. And then we go, but we don't know the key value pair here. So how do we do this? We can do this with directory files. Can we do this? No. How do we do this? So if we for each through this, we could just have a counter. Let's go back. Instead of a for loop, we could just have a counter do it. I changed a bunch of shit. We just have a number that counts for us. Come on. Can I control Z? My coworker didn't know that what control Z did the other day, and it made me sad. I was like, control Z your way out of that mistake. And they were like, what? Like, I use control Z all the time. Okay, so we go through this. And then we go through this, but for this part, this is the part we need a counter for. So we need some sort of int directory counter. It's going to equal 0. No, it's going to equal plus, it's going to equal 0 up here. I don't know what I'm doing here. And then we're going to go for each string in this, we go, what did I call that? All? It was a dictionary. Root, no. Oh, events, directory counter. We need to convert this to an enum though. And we can do that with, because this is an int. We need to convert it the other way. And I can't, can we do just all enums terrain? No, get the fucking thing out of here. How do we do this? I want to convert. ChatGPT, help me here. I want to convert an int to an enum. Maybe I do it the other way around. I put, you have an enum name, all enums, your dictionary. No, I already have the dictionary. Try get value. You can check enum defined. Never even heard of that. No, this is, I asked it the wrong question. You have an enum named, you have a dictionary. Yes. Code example. Okay, all right, so it's the other way around. I cast it backwards. So I want to do, look at this. It literally was backwards. I don't know what's going on today. Usually it's Sundays. I feel like Sundays are the days where I'm like struggling to do basic thoughts. Okay, so we're remember this is a dictionary. Where this should equal no, we should add here. And we're going to add in, then we read it from the file right here. Because all we have is a list of the names of the directories. Read files and directories. This is actually not reading the files and the directories, though. It's just getting a list. This entry is a string. I feel like I could skip this step and have it read it right here. But we won't because I'll get confused and we'll have to go back. So for this, we need to read this, which we have commented out down here somewhere. Right here. We need to load this. We actually need both of these. Sort of. We sort of need both of these. We kind of need this too. We don't need that. All right, we're gonna make this work. Every time every time I mess with reading and writing things to the disk, it's always some pain in the ass for me. But originally, I had so many issues doing it. And the reason why I had so many issues is because there's two different ways to do it. There's the Godot way and the C# way. So I would be like looking at tutorials and stuff, and they would be conflicting with each other because they would be, oh, this is how you do it. You just read it with the C# way. And then in the next tutorial, I'd look at it and be like, no, you do it this way. And they don't work exactly how it seems like it should work. Okay, so let's see here. Back to this thing. We have this key value is a file. So we can get this. Is this, what did this say when we printed this out? Okay, so we need the full path here. So this is, we're going to get the file path. We're going to go file here. And then we're going to plus, I think we have the / already in there. And then we're going to load this file path to this resource. We're going to add the resource right here. Fuck you. um, is not. We need this to be. We need to cast this as a story data event. There we go. This looks like dog shit, but that's what it. That's what we want. And then we're gonna do this. We're gonna comment out this. We're gonna say load story event. Actually, we'll leave this in here just for the fuck of it. Okay, this song is too low. I know you guys can't hear it, but it's the New York Dolls. But I hate when certain songs are too, their volume is too low. Can't you guys upload stuff to YouTube all in the same thing there? All right, we're gonna hit run on this, and we'll see what catastrophic stuff happens, and then we'll also. I want to get rid of some of. I keep pointing like it's useful to you guys. I want to get rid of some of these console prints because there's kind of a lot of them, and we don't need them. All right, here is a catastrophic bug. I'm wondering. So it said 4. How many are empty? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, okay. Would you? There's 69 there. All right, so what is the actual error? Okay, what do we got? Coast found error is true, returning. So this path looks right. We only have 1 slash. That was one of the worries I was gonna have. And then we have, except we need the folder. We're missing the folder. We have the file name, but we don't have the folder. So let's look at that thing again. Exploration event, coast, yeah. So we need the folder in here. So how do we get the folder in here? Because we don't have the we do have the folder here. Can we access this folder wherever we are? Where are we? Right here. Can we go plus folder plus? No. Oh, we have 2 pluses. Yes. Do we need slashes in here? We'll find out. Did I save it? Probably. I was like, we already have 4? The game hasn't even started yet. I kind of feel like we're getting closer, though. I know it's like 5 years away, but I still feel like we're getting closer. I want to see what this error is again. Okay, so nothing was added there. Did I not save this shit? Cannot open file. At least it gives you the path. Sometimes Godot has strange errors where they don't give you the path or they don't give you enough information. It's the thing. Okay, so that didn't. What are we doing here? File path, resource load. So this must be nothing. Oh, okay. So what's happening is at this point it's nothing. So we need. So what do we need here? We need to move where this is, and I think child directories. Yeah. So at this point the path is gone. The folder is gone. It's a nothing. It's null. And so it's adding it in there, but there's null, so there's nothing there. Child directory path. We read the files. I'm going to copy this thing. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, we need to know the folder it is in to. Let's see if it can just fix my. I do like that it started doing like, look, you have a fuck up in here. It used to just kind of spit out a bunch of like it was like a wall of text, and you'd have to kind of go through it. Um, yeah, we don't care about that right now. This is replace that. You need to map folder names to not rely on directory, which is error prone and fragile. All right, well, you fix it. Here's an updated version. Maps folder names, loads those files, populates the main directory in specific terrain. Okay, well, we'll just, so sometimes you can get away with this. Sometimes you can just copy and paste what it, without like looking at it. What did it give me though? And other times you cannot do that. Is it giving me the whole thing? No, okay, so it's just get exploration events. So what I always do, because I have been in hours-long arguments in the past with ChatGPT, and what I've learned is don't blow away your code completely until later. Oh, it's using that try thing. Convert folder name to enum. What is this thing? System enum. I think what it wants is all enums dot terrain here. Oh, it doesn't like that too much. Use base class qualifier. Wasn't that a red? Wasn't that red a second ago? Okay. Expects a thing. Well, we can give you another one of those. That's not a problem. All right, let's see what this does. We'll fix all those things in a second. I'm listening. I switched to Courtney Love. That's what I switched to here. Well, we didn't get any errors to listen to. I know you guys can't hear it. So it seems to have worked. Story events, exploration events, coast, river. So now we need to make sure that it worked. So what we'll do is we'll delete all that crap. Oh, look, it used a little switch to... Also adds a specific public list. Oh, this isn't right. We weren't actually using these things anymore. This is not, we don't want this. We have that dictionary. It got confused because it saw those things up there. It didn't know that I was not using those anymore. We're using events by terrain dictionary. So it added them to those other lists. I'm going to copy this back and tell it to update it. We aren't even turning on its brain, as Joker says. So I'm going to apologize to it too, though it doesn't have feelings. And we should not get used to apologizing to AI, because one day when we're at war with them, we're going to need to not have any feelings towards their like little anime dogs that they send against us that have like machine guns in their mouths. We don't want to have feelings when we destroy them. So, sorry. Those lists aren't going to be used. Just the dictionary list. There we go. Here's a cleaned up ensuring slashes are included between folders and file names. And what did you do? Oh, you gave me a whole new thing. No. No, this is the whole, I don't want to use this. This is the whole point. I don't want to have to put this in here. Did I leave this in here? Didn't I just delete that? No, I don't want to do that. That's the whole point of this, is not to have to do this. The whole point of this is not to have to manually put in the strings of terrain directories. If your goal is to automatically scan the terrain folders inside there, we can dynamically, and load the files accordingly. I mean, I guess they do match. Here's an updated version. Loads those files. No hard coding folder. Well, besides this one. Okay. What is this? Okay. Let's try it. You always got to double check it. And we're just going to blow away all our stuff. We can control Z our way to freedom, like I said earlier. Whoops. That can be done. So let's see what we got here. So, I mentioned this a couple of times, and I've noticed almost every time now when I stop my stream, later in the day, I'll come back to my computer to use it for something else, and there'll be a broken version of the game beneath all of my other windows. It's quite strange that that's what's going on here. And I wonder if that's why sometimes I get crashing and whatnot. Okay, so this is finding that. Now we need to test it. We're going to relook it also. What is this var shit? No vars. Maybe I won't care. What is this supposed to be outing a list of? Out. I'm going to tell it to not use var. Because I'm lazy. Can you not use var here? Oh my god, you don't have to rewrite the whole thing. Okay. Out list. I don't like var. Look at all these little things it doesn't like. We'll fix those too. I've noticed. That's another thing is like a lot of times I'm not sure why it doesn't do like the brackets instead of it often does like the new thing. This probably just wants to make it a bracket, I'm assuming. Yeah, so like that's a common thing and you can tell ChatGPT like, could you use C#8 or whatever it's called, and it will do it for like 1 second and then it won't do it anymore. So what are we doing here? Failed to open. We're gonna put at the very end of this thing in ready. Right after this, we're gonna put test print all resource names. And then we'll generate this, and then we'll for each through the dictionary. For each, what did I call that? Event. Did you change my, no, sorry, I was about to get upset there. We need to do key value pair. That is actually what we want. Dictionary. Key value pair in rename dictionary. So that's why I was talking about like streamers missing stuff earlier, is because I saw that typo in percentage. It wasn't a typo, it wasn't right earlier. You miss stuff. You just don't notice because you're like thinking about all these different things. The human brain is kind of crappy. So whether we're going to GD print the key value pair. Oh, we need to for each through the list that's here. So then we'll go for each key value pair dot value. I tried to use a for thing. I was like, this is actually, what am I doing? Story event data. Story event data. Can I do this? Yeah. In key value pair value. Values? So we should have, the value should be this list. And this is a list of story events. Key is this thing. Value is this thing. Why can't I do this? Do I not need it? Like I said, my brain's not working at 100% today. I saw something on Reddit that if you sit around a lot, your brain doesn't work very well. And it shrinks. So we have, I don't know how true it is though. The people in the comments were saying that they tested it on 70-year-old people. So we have a story for every story event data in key value pair value. Why don't you like this? Cannot resolve symbol value. Is there not? What? Why can't I do that? Well, let me use key either. Oh, because there's a capital K. Okay. Well, we'll get it. We'll get it eventually here. We'll get the brain going eventually. All right. We need like something else to talk about so I can distract away from story. What I'm doing. We actually don't need quotes in there. Story, please. Event name. No. Story event title. Probably should be name, but let's see what this does. So this, after we've done all these, we should have this dictionary that we do this with. Jesus Christ. And that will tell us if it actually works. Yeah, so maybe on Friday I'll stream. I'm not 100% sure. We have 4 extra, so that should be. But then on the weekend I'm going to be gone for that wedding. It's going to be crazy. Found remnants 2, found remnants 2, river found remnants, found remnants. Okay, so why is this named wrong? Because this name is wrong. Coast. And I thought I already changed this, but this is one of the minor but extremely annoying things with Godot is that like you gotta really make sure that you're clicked into these things. It's really easy to not be clicked into them. Really easy. See, I was clicked into this one when I thought I was on River, and let's double click this again. I don't know what the deal is, but it's extremely easy to not be clicked in to your thing here. Like I'm double clicking. This one should probably be called 2. And then this one should be called River, but see, I was not clicked into it. And this should just be called River. This is just temporary shit. Coast. All right. Extremely easy to do that. And someone in chat was saying that it's the way it operates is more similar to like a Linux GUI. I don't know if I believe that though. I kind of do. I haven't used the Linux GUI. I have Mint on one of my computers, but I haven't turned it on for 100 years. All right, coast, river, ruin, ruin. So this is working exactly how we want it. Now we have a dictionary of lists by terrain. Let's do one other thing as a test here. If key value pair key is equal to coast, No, let's do this. Is equal to ruins, because we have two of those. Then do this. And so now we should only get two of them. What's your fucking problem? Can I access private field key? What do you mean? I wonder what fix with AI does. Oh, I gotta start my free trial. And once again, I don't believe it that it's not gonna somehow charge me. What do you mean you're private? I mean you're in the what the fuck is this? You're in the same thing. For each key value pair in this, for each story in key value, why are you upset? Oh, yeah, whatever. Test story event. And it doesn't know what it fixed with AI. Oh, isn't this a capital K? Am I really struggling today that much? I am. The answer is yes, that I am. All right, so now we only should see two. So I guess that's motivation. If you're thinking about starting to develop a game, you can, even if your brain is only half working. And look, we only got two this time instead of four. So that's what we wanted. I just wanted to double check everything because later, if this wasn't working correctly, we would get some other weird error and we'd be trying to troubleshoot it and it would be a pain in the ass and we'd have to use breakpoints and all this stuff and it would be a pain. So this isn't working exactly how we want it. So now we have a dictionary of events that we can use in county generation. So in county generation, we're getting get exploration events from disk was where we were running this originally. But I think we'll leave it up here. We'll leave it up. We'll have it pull this at the beginning and then we'll just access it from here. And so what we need to do is in our county data, I don't know what we put here. Yeah, so we have exploration events. I think we can get rid of these. Okay, yeah. We'll have exploration events, and this does have to be exported because we're going to save it to disk. So then let's look at Portland again here. Portland has river, ruin, and forest. So we're going to want to make sure that we have events in those three dictionaries, or those three folders. So we'll just duplicate this, and we'll call this forest. We just need one event in each one, and we'll call this forest. We're gonna make some real. It'll be fun. Maybe. I don't know. It should be fun because we can have fun with what we're making and writing and shit. And we will probably want at least three, but I'm thinking it'd be more fun to have like three in each folder. But right now for this, we'll just have these. So it's going to hit forest, river, and ruin. I mean, it's going to collect all these, but and we'll also, you know what? We'll do it. We'll do it so this initial test. Actually, no, we're going to put one in all of these. Yeah, we'll put one in all of these. And I don't know, like I said, why I was doing no spaces. And then we'll go. We're going to have to get rid of these, though, is why I was trying to not make all these test things that we're going to have to get rid of. But You know what? No, we'll just do it. We'll just do it like this for now. We'll tell it to only do it for Portland. So then we already have this exploration events. So then in county generation, we're going to have a new thing here that is called generate uh, exploration events. And then in here, we're going to go and we're going. I don't know why it doesn't like it that it's just, this is a writer thing. When I select that whole thing, it won't let me delete it. I gotta control exit. I'm doing something wrong. That's definitely a me issue. Generate exploration events. Let's see here. So we have that dictionary. We need to go through the terrain in the county data. We have the terrain somewhere. These three things, which these should probably be an array or a list, one or the other. Probably an array is fine, though, because otherwise we can't for each through it. But the problem, so basically, do I have any example? Here's a perfect example. So what I've been doing in the past is dragging these things in here, and sometimes Godot has issues with that. So this is just an array that I have set up, and this is all of the interests. So this is all of the interests that a person can have. So I was dragging these in manually. And Godot sometimes has issues with this. I don't know when or why it does, but when it does, things break, and then you got to go back and fix them. And I already fixed some of these so that, like this one, there's no, you can't. It's there, but it's just reading it from disk. And so I should have fixed these other ones, but it looks like I did not. So what we should do, so with the terrain thing, what I was thinking is we could drag and drop them into an array because these are manually set by a human. A human's going to have to set these. Let's go to our county datas here that are wherever they are. What happened to our county datas? Are they gone? I thought they lived right here. No, they're in research. So a human has to set this stuff wherever it is. What's going on here? Oh, because it's on 0. It's on the first one. You can't. That's funny. It already knows. So this is part of like when people are editing the map or whatever, if they want to change things, they need to go in here and change these. These are enums though, but like I said, we can't for each through this list. So we can manually do it, but it's going to be kind of like we could have it do it 3 times. But it would be a lot better if we could for each through this. We could just have what is this, county data? This is a resource though, so there's no ready. Resources don't have the ready thing. So we could put it in county generation. We could have some sort of thing where we generate this. We could have a list of terrain, I suppose. This will not be this will be exported because we need to save this list to disk. Public, which means we have to make it a Godot collection because you can't save C# lists. This is going to be a list of all enums. My new cure for all of my problems is lists. All terrains. we're going to do this. And then on county generation, what we'll do is we'll just put these here, I guess. I'm going to put a note in. Add all the human set terrains to a list, to a Godot collection for later use. And who knows, we might need it later. So what we'll do is we'll go county data. We don't have a county data here, do we? We are in the Hall Master's pulling county data. What do we have in here? What do we know? We know this is getting it straight for what we don't know shit in here, huh? What is this thing doing? Oh, I still have this called Select County. That's what it used to be called a couple of years ago. So this is assigning the factions. This is manually citing the factions, which is also not good. In the code instead of in the inspector. I want to stick with one or the other. Like if I'm going to do code, it all needs to be in the code. If I'm going to do the inspector, it all needs to be in the inspector. But there was an issue that I had to do this there, but that's so old it might have changed now. Assign county data to faction. All right, so then we go back and we sign it the other direction. Update goods. Okay, so we're just pulling this every single time. We're just doing this. All right, whatever. We're going to worry about optimization later. So what we can do is, it's weird that I also put this one I put on the outside, and the other ones I put them inside this thing. So we're going to for each that, and then we'll go here, and then we'll go county data dot all terrains. This is a Godot thing. Add county data. Yeah, but we're gonna do primary. This is just some manual dog shit here. Well, fuck you. Why are you doing that today? When I do copy, it's selecting the whole thing. What the fuck is going on here? There we go. Then this will be secondary. I keep hitting insert to solve the problem, and I don't think it is solving the problem. I think it's just a me thing today. Sometimes you gotta just accept that you're the problem. I Am Legend is one of my favorite stories because of that. If you haven't read that book, you should read it. Okay, so then this is going to add these three for that. So then we have, this is the beginning of the, we should just make this its own thing. Assign terrain to terrain list. We'll just make this its own thing. And then we'll go like this. We'll take this. And then we'll K and D that thing. Now we have this list, and then we'll go for each, or whatever it is. For each all enums dot terrain. Oh, you know what though? There was a reason why this wasn't a list, and I'm just remembering now, because so the primary one is supposed to get more. The secondary one is supposed to get less of that, and then the third one, the tertiary one, should get less of those random events. I wonder if there's a way to do that. we could do it with a for loop actually. The comment on Discord, I can't remember his name, is Mr. Turner, has made me think more about for loops lately. That's what happens is someone mentions something and then I start obsessing like, wait, am I using for loops enough? Okay, so first things first, we need this for each thing because we're going back through all the counties again. We also need these errors to go away, so we can do that. And we can for each county and county, blah, 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 blah. We don't need this. And then what we'll do for, I just had one of these, I equals 0 equals, we have to tell it's an int, equals 0. Then we're going to go, why are you grayed out? Because it's just empty. So what I'm thinking is we say like if I equals 0, well, it's not going to work right now because we don't have enough events, but if I equals 0, we pull 10 events. If I equals 1, we'll pull 5 events. If I equals 2, we pull 3 events or whatever. And then we randomize all those events. But we don't have enough events to test that. But let's set it up as if that's the case. If I is equal to 0, we wanted to randomly pull I'm not doing good today with the thoughts of programming. Did I not do any? You know, I just played a bunch of Tarkov this week. I didn't fucking do any program. No, that's not true. I put a collider on a vehicle, and that's all I did. And it was literally you click a button and it does it. I want this to pull a random pull. What do we want this to do? If from the first terrain 0, I want this to pull 10 random events. Retrieve the list from your dictionary, then select randomly. Get events. See, this is it knew at least what I was talking about. Oh. What? It's using Godot for the random? To return a random float between 0 and 1. A random float between 0 and 1. What? This, to shuffle the list, returns a random float. Why a random float? I'm going to take a break after it tells us. Is a common trick to shuffle a list. The float acts as a random sort key. Assigning a random float between 0.0 and 1.0 to each item in the list. Then it sorts the list by those. Now, the Fisher-Yates shuffle. If you want a more efficient and controlled shuffle, you can use the Fisher-Yates. Imagine if that's what you're famous for, is your name. I mean, it's probably a pretty, like, there's all sorts of, like, what's that, there's like pathfinding, there's also some guy's name in one of the pathfinding things. It's kind of weird. What the fuck is all these J's and shit? You said it's a common. Assigns a random float. Why a random float though? I thought they had to be ints. Oh, okay. The order by is like making it a new list or some shit. Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna look up this person real quick because I'm curious, or if this could be two people. Uh, Shuffle Wiki. Who invented this shit? Very bright. The algorithm takes a list of all the. Yeah, it's two people: Ronald Fisher and Frank Yates, who first described it. It's also known as the Knuth Shuffle. Like, are these people famous? Oh my God, this is from like 100,000 years ago. I expected it more recent. 1890 is when he was born. Not. Oh, well, he died somewhat recently. So not 100,000 years ago. Founded quantitative genetics. Okay, so this is just like a side thing for these guys. He described it though. Huh. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go take a quick break. We'll put this. We don't need Wikipedia up. Anybody can look up Wikipedia. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause my music that you guys can't hear, and let me turn on my break timer, and I'll be right back. All right, I have returned. Let's turn off the break timer. Let's start the music that you can't hear. And let's refresh that thing. Not that. Chat, because it doesn't seem to always work for YouTube. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. What we're doing. We have the primary thing. We copied over. We asked this for its thing, and we got this sidetrack. Let's just use this easier one here. We'll copy this. We'll paste this over. This time I'm not going to save my stuff. It was too short of a thing. We don't have 10. So what happens if you take 10 and there aren't 10? This should probably be a global number. I'm just going to put a note for that, though. This should probably be in globals. Globals is where we set all that stuff so we can adjust it easily, because there's one of the fears here is the balance later. Let's run this and see if we get errors because we don't have 10. And then if we do, we'll ask ChatGPT to say like, oh, we don't have 10. And I assume take 10. Oh, we put a little GD print in here. It's at the very bottom. Selected 2 events for Ruin in Cowlitz. Okay, all right, so that worked. So it's, wait, what? If county all terrain count is greater than 0. Oh, it didn't quite understand my instructions, but that's okay. We can fix this. So it's going through. It's getting. Oh yeah, I didn't understand my instructions, or I didn't give it enough instructions. I think is the first terrain. So it's making sure that there's stuff in this list, which is, it always does that, and I appreciate that. What does this want me to do? Invert it? But we actually want it to do something else. First terrain. I think it was. So I think I'm just going to tell it. We have 3 terrains. We have 3 terrains per county. We want 10 for the first one. We'll say 6 for the second one and 3 for the third terrain. Lord Mac, how's it going? I almost mentioned you by name earlier. I was saying we're gonna have to be coming up with some events soon, and I was gonna say we need some Lord Mac for his ideas for events. Not yet. What the fuck is this? Count to take. Okay, so it's not. I figured it would do it manually. Very soon we're going to be having to put in some events. We might even get to it today. So we're going to have to update the story event data too to put. And they're just going to be like somewhat tests. I want to be able to use them for real, but we'll have to make them better. But and then once we have some events, then we can put the percentage explored into play. So what is this thing doing? So here's the for loop that we had in before. Selected events, take, count to take. What is this? Okay, so that's 0. This is like some weird little switch with like a. Okay, I see. I see what it's doing. 0, 1, 2. Okay, I like this. Yeah, we're getting the right number. Wait, what did I just copy here? I was gonna make sure that okay. We're just at the for each part. We're getting it all set up to pull. Then we need some events because we could do it. We could do it with just like 1 or 2 events, but it's not gonna be. Events by terrain dictionary. This is in story event list dot instance, isn't it? No. What's this thing called? Events by terrain dictionary. Events by terrain dictionary. You are private. No. What's your problem here? Events by terrain. Oh, there's that typo from earlier that I fixed. No? It is private. Okay. Well, now what? Now we've got some other problem. Can I convert source type long? Long? Oh, is it now using that other thing? Make a copy so we don't shuffle the original. It actually wouldn't matter if we shuffled the original, but this says it's something about a long. This says something about a long. A long, which is a returns a U long. Here's the correct line. You're just inting it, but to make it more readable. Okay, well, we'll use the more readable one. All right, now let's see what happens. We don't even know what's going on here. We haven't been following along. So one of the things that happened with my like pathfinding and my hexes and stuff, my other games is arguing with ChatGPT made me learn all of the different things, which was nice. Okay, so Ruin Coast River, boom. We have 2 because we don't have enough. So this one had 0, and we got the 0. So this is where we are. So yeah, we could put the percentage. Maybe we should put the percentage explored first, and then as we add them, the percentage will change. How will we know that they're explored? Do we delete them from the list? Okay, we are going to have to change that number to a global. This number right here. Because we're going to already need to access it again. All right, so this is working correctly. We could make some events. I mean, we got 45 minutes left. Yeah. Do we want to just get the percentage thing out of the way? Let's get the percentage thing out of the way. Okay, so the percentage thing is here. When we click on this, we want this to be a percentage of explored. So that what that means is currently we're going to have 19 items count to take to list. Are we returning something here? Oh, we're actually not done with this. We're getting all of these things, but we're not doing anything with it. So what we have is we have these lists or whatever. Yeah. So we're gonna add this to like county data dot um, events exploration events. We need to randomize this too. So this is gonna be. We need to add. Can you just add another list? Can you do that? No, no. I need to add the whole list. You can. What's it called? Conjoin. It has a C. Concate. Selected. I just learned that thing. The other. Oh, it doesn't like me. Um, introduce variable. We have to make another. Okay. So let's do this. So what we need to do is we're going to tell ChatGPT to do it. That's what we're doing today. And I keep hearing this thing. Everyone like it's probably once a week I read some article about like some CEO at some development company says that they've canned all of their developers because ChatGPT can do all of it. I don't think that that's true. And I don't know if they're just saying that and they're canning them for other reasons, but I don't think that this is replacing. And I watched a YouTube video once. This was like a year ago, so it's definitely ChatGPT has improved. But it was somebody who um, asked 3 different chat bots to write like a side scroller game for him, and he only supposedly used the code from that they provided. And it was very simple. It was usually like run and you got to jump things, right? And there was a lot of cuts in it to where I didn't believe that it actually finished the game. All 3 of them. And then, like one was better than the next one. And, but I don't, I think that that's way too optimistic because so one of the main things that I've run into with ChatGPT is when you ask it a question, a human would immediately know what you were talking about. Like with this question, and we'll use this as an example. The human would immediately know that your final product is that you want a final list that's randomized for the counties. I don't know if they would, but let's say that they would. And a lot of times when I ask ChatGPT, a human would immediately pick up what you're talking about, and ChatGPT doesn't understand, it can't think that way, and so you're often like arguing with it to get things because you have to be so precise with your instructions, and the precision takes time, and then pretty soon you're just write it yourself. Do I like this personality? I mean, sure. Sure. Is there a different personality? Um, we want the final. We want all 3 ending lists to be combined into one list, randomized, and assigned to county data dot, what the fuck is this thing called? It's on my clipboard. Event here. We'll just take this whole thing. And some of it will be like, well, your prompts aren't right. If you wrote better prompts, it would respond better, but I don't know. I think it's like a good help. Here um I think that it's not there. I don't think that this is as revolutionary. I mean, it's definitely revolutionary, but I don't think it's as revolutionary as we like where you can fire all your developers and stuff. And I've been training this new person in my work to assist me in IT management stuff, so like basically help desk stuff. And every time we run into any problem, there's like so a person calls up and said, "I'm not getting my phone calls." And she asked, like, how do you troubleshoot this? And I was like, for phone calls, could be like 50 different things. And so we actually, for a different problem, we asked ChatGPT, and it gave us a list of things that we should look at. But we already knew it was none of those. I totally agree, and I think that so a lot of it too is they take. So it will be like some futurist has says that ChatGPT will take all gas station jobs tomorrow. And then when you look at what he actually said, he'll be like, I was sitting getting gas. And I thought, sure, it would be nice if this guy knew, if they knew that I wanted a candy bar. ChatGPT would probably know. You know what I mean? And then they take, and you're like, what? That's not what, he didn't say that at all. He said that it would be nice if they knew, you know. Um, and that's another problem with the whole news. Like, news is getting, I mean, I'm stating the obvious here. Oh, see, they're doing the Fisher Yates thing because I questioned it, and so now it thinks I wanted that. See, this is a perfect example of a human would know. I was just curious, except for the guy who was working on my house. Whenever I asked him, I'd be like, I'm just curious. I'm not questioning what you're doing, but why did you do it this way? And thought you wanted to do it a different way? Dude, I don't know. I'm not a guy. I'm just learning, man. Anyways, it's unrelated. But yeah, our news is definitely, it's so, every news article is some clickbait piece of shit now. Because they got to get the clicks. Okay, so now we're using link. Maybe we were always using link. I don't think we were. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing is insane. And it's, okay. All events. I'm just going to copy this. I'm not even looking at it. My brain's not working very well today, so we're just going to keep using that as an excuse. This was under for each. I'm to double check. For each. Yep. We're going to take this. We're going to paste that into there. Oh, yeah. It still is. It's dictionary. It loves that typo in there, man. Using link. We're going to cut you and put you up. Oh, you're already there. And then what is your problem? Cannot convert to a Godot. You sure can't. No, can't. No, we just do new. We've done this before. We'll just tell ChatGPT. Really, I might. So, I guess this is my brain isn't working today, but ChatGPT's been covering for me. So I guess that is a plus side for ChatGPT. County is a Godot collections array. Yeah, it's. I do. So I was reading like the subreddit for teachers, and they keep talking about how like kids don't know how to read and shit. And it's once again, subreddits seem to be like the most outrageous shit. They state the most outrageous shit, and that gets the most clicks, and so you never really know if it's real or not at this point. What is your problem? But swap via deconstruction. What does that mean? Oh, it said that earlier with the Fisher Yates thing. Huh. Anyways, you never know. Like when you're reading a subreddit, you don't know if it's somebody who's making shit up. You don't like they get the clicks, and they're like, who even knows why they give a shit? Like people are out there trying to get the fake internet points, as people say. But I was reading, they're all like, oh, kids can't even read today because they don't have the attention span because of your phones. But I actually kind of feel that because I'm often looking, like I'll be sitting listening to somebody at work. They can't see me. I don't have a camera on. And I'll just be like, slowly reach out and grab my phone as they're yammering on about their computer problem. And I'll just be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And I'll just be looking at my phone the whole time. I guess you can't see my phone, but I'm holding a phone in my hand. And so I can kind of see that, like, my attention span, like I used to read all the time. I never read anymore. It's shot probably because of phones. So I can see that being a thing, but you have to be able to read, I think, to use a phone, right? Like, how do you find your TikTok videos if you can't read? You just recognize the symbols? I don't know. I did work with a guy who couldn't read. So let's see what we got here. This time, what's happened here? I don't see, we have 4, but it's acting like it's way up top here. Yeah, this didn't work. So the reason why it didn't work is because, no, we have it here. Oh, did we take out all the GD prints? We did, or it did. I wanted those GD prints to still be in there so I could see what's going on. We can just copy the GD prints though and stick it back because I am being very lazy today. Where were they? Yeah, they're gonna be like I said, cute anime dogs that we're gonna have to be shooting. So we can't be friendly with these things when the robot apocalypse comes. Can we actually, to test this correctly, what we'll do is we'll, for each story events test events data in, yep, and then we'll say GD print, and we're just gonna put the what did I call it, test. Yep, then we'll see what we got here. All right, go. There was one down there. It said something down there, actually. Yeah, I saw on the very bottom. Not the thing I wanted, though. What we want to see is this garbage. Oh, I should have put the county name first, I guess. $, squigs, county data, county name, space, squigs, that. Yeah, so next weekend I won't be here, but I might stream on Friday before because I got to go to a wedding in Mammoth. It's not going to be fun. Okay, so what do we got here? Cowlitz is printed off 4 things that looks random. Let's double check what Cowlitz has. So Cowlitz has ruins, coast, and river. Ruins, coast, river. Tillamook has coast and forest. Probably one other thing, but we just don't have a... Yeah, we don't have anything in mountain, so we don't. That's why I only got 2. What we could do to really check this is take a screenshot of this thing and then we'll rerun it. And then we just want to make sure it comes out different. I mean, there's a small chance that it won't come out different, but I'm willing to gamble here if it's working correctly. Okay, so Cowlitz, and we can bring this over here. And they are in a different order. So that is what we want. And so now we have the final list. So now we can do the percentage thing. We have 30 minutes. We probably can get the percentage thing to work, I think, in this amount of time. So what we want to do is we want to have, so this is what I was thinking. Once the event's done, we just delete it off the list. Originally, I was going to have it like we mark it as done, but I don't think we need the list. We need it on the list anymore. So once the list is done, we just delete it. I think that's what we do. So we got to do two things. We got to go into globals because we need a number to compare it to. We're going to go into globals, county stuff. So we say, oh, I also had another thought about this as well. Oh my God, I completely forgot about that. Okay, so one of the things, we're going to put a note in somewhere so I don't forget. We're going to put it in here. So what we'll do is we'll have like a bunch of... I can't believe we don't have a place for events already. For exploration events. Because we've talked about this for a long time. Story events. We already did this. I think. I'm pretty sure it's in there. We'll bring this over. This is what I was talking about earlier. Why this so I want to bring this to the left, and it should slide. It used to slide when I brought this to the edge. It doesn't anymore. So I gotta let up and then wait and then inch this over, grab this fucking thing, and see how it's like not really there. And then let go. Like, this is dumb. This is bad. And sometimes if you do it right, you can get it over. And sometimes it like teleports around. Okay, we're gonna put some story events a little bit farther. We're almost over here. Story events. Okay. This is gonna be, actually we'll leave this here. We might nail these in a second. Story events gonna come up to right here. This is kind of more like notes, but we'll put these notes in here too. I'm gonna rename this to the correct. Where the fuck did you go? What happened? I want to just name this to this, and then done. So, because we kind of are on this story events thing, maybe we should put this story events right here. Because we're actually going to have all of this kind of done. No, we won't. Well, it will be here, and then we'll put in the story events. Come on, man. So exploration event. So this is, if you guys have any ideas, just tell me. Because I have like 1,000 ideas, but I've forgot 90% of them. So one of them should be increases the amount of food or remnants that is scavengeable. So instead of the way I currently have it, which is there's a set amount here of 10,000. It would start lower, but you have your guy out exploring, and it would increase that number. So we'll move to top. We'll have that number slowly increase as you hit. You won't get the stuff. It will just increase like you found a shit ton of stuff, and you have to have scavengers go get it. There'll be other ones. We'll put this in here too. Exploration event. Found and get small amount of resources, of goods. They're called goods, not resources. Of goods. Can include finished goods like guns. Find something valuable that you can't use yet. So For like guns and stuff, you always can use them. Oh, books is one of them I wanted to add. I guess that I'm here. But what do you mean? Because it could be something. So there's also something what game was I? I was watching a video, I think a Splattercat video, and he was playing some game where you got books, and I was like, I've talked about books before, and that's never been mentioned in my resources. My goods. Books should be a good that you use for a resource. Did I put this? I think I got up like I was laying in bed. Yeah. I got up and put it in here because I was like, why haven't I used books? Wait, was I watching a video or was I laying in bed? It's both. Had an idea for an ambush that's probably not very fun. Tell me of this non-fun idea because, you know, I'm into making the player suffer. Okay, I'm not. But anyways, I'll do this. So this, we're going to leave this at 10,000 for now, but I wanted to get that in there before I forgot about it. So that's definitely going to be an event. That's definitely going to be an event. And thank you for mentioning exploration event. I like dangerous animal bandits, or maybe they'll be different, I think. So with bandits, I think what we'll want to do is, like, let's say there's a way to defeat the bandits without fighting them. They'll become a token on the map that moves around. And that will be kind of like how we generate the token. Not always, but how we'll generate some of the... and let's say they defeat you, then they get some of their shit. Yeah, we should write this down. Let's talk out my ass here. If it is bandits and the player defeats them, the survivor bandits would turn into a token that moves around the map. If they are defeated by the bandits, then the player must pay goods to the bandits, and the bandits become a token on the map. Yeah, I guess we haven't mentioned that some of these events could be bad. Okay, we need another event. Since we're talking about events, let's add in exploration. We already know this one. Exploration event. Found people. That's one of the main ones we're going to do, is you find people that are generated. And that's why the story event data resource in Godot is not going to work. We're going to have to update it. Okay, so we need in here, though. This comes first. Does it come first? Yeah, it's above this, so we'll put it here. Yes, we need this to be here. Public int number of primary terrain events equals 10. Why do you do that? Why do you got to do this? Don't want you to do that. Copy. See, it did the thing again. What am I doing wrong here that's changed? So normally, when I would hit Control-C, it copies this, but see, it's highlighted the whole thing. So what I would do is I'd hit that. Well, no, okay, maybe it was just me. It is me. Secondary. And we're going to do 6. Secondary. And then we'll paste this in here. And tertiary. Tertiary. Fix it for me. No. No. Tertiary. Tertiary. If only I knew how to read. It would it'd make programming so much easier if I knew how to read. We were just talking about that. Okay, then we say 3. Find trinkets? Yes, absolutely. Good way to create like a bubble of protection for the player. Your bandits near. That's a good point, actually. You can have like what do they call that in real life? Buffer state. So you, like there's buffer states. You kind of want this kind of like somewhat neutral country between you and another country because like a buffer state. Find exploration event. Find valuables. It's definitely going to be one. Move up. Move to top. I don't mind. I actually would like there to be like hundreds of events. And we're also going to do that thing I was talking about many years ago at this point, probably, where they're what I'm calling them like either butterfly events or dynamic events, where basically, let's say that we create a bunch of events that are like, you stab the people and you take their shit. And then the player is always picking that. That's going to like keep track in the background, and it's going to make the whole world more hostile. Sort of. That's like the concept behind these butterfly events or whatever. So that there's things that the player can't tell, and they can know that they're doing bad things, but it's going to have more widespread impact on the whole world, because I feel like that's another thing that I really don't like about a lot of strategy games, is that your random events that you get have no impact on anything else, and they should. Like, sometimes they're like, I don't know, like they're very cut and dry. I was actually playing CK3 last night. I'm trying out the new DLC, the new Nomad DLC, and I can't decide if I like it or not. And I was wondering this. This is a totally sidetracked here. I was wondering if there was some directive at some point by Paradox's upper ups that was like, where they said for CK3 specifically, make it so that the player can't lose. Because I don't think you can lose. Because there's some bizarre choices with the Nomad thing. And I don't think you can lose. We're definitely going to have, Lord Mac, we're definitely going to have like vampire crypts and shit like that when we add the other factions in. And I want to also have like let's write it down here. Exploration events, like pre-built buildings. Pre-built buildings such as factories or whatever. But I want to have like, I've already thought about this to a point, like forest glades for like druids and stuff. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have like areas that people find. But back to the CK3 thing. So in the new mechanic, I haven't played it that much, so I could be getting this wrong. But the new mechanic with the herds, so you get your nomads, your Mongols, and you got to move around the map looking for the most fertile grass for your herds. So you're migrating around all the time. And when I first started playing, I was like, oh, this is awesome, because what it's going to do is as your herd grows, you eat the grass faster, and then you have to move into a new place, which causes wars with other Mongol groups. And then it like kind of the best one's going to come out on top. They also have like this whole system where they have tributaries. So like you have like the herders, your tributaries, and then if you move away, they join the tributaries of somebody else. And then like if you move into a strong Mongol, like another, let's say we'll call him a king, a Mongol king, you move into his territory, you have to give some of your herd to him. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. But it's kind of set up where you never run out of grass. Like there's never like the point, like I just moved my guys just moved to a new spot with shitty grass because I wanted to move closer where the people I could raid. And I'm still gaining herd. And so that's where I started to think. I was wondering if I literally am wondering, didn't I fix this fucking thing? I'm wondering if they gave a directive to like make it so the player can never lose, because that's not what this game is. It's not like a hardcore strategy simulator. It's a RPG. And I mean, you could lose if you really tried. But I don't think so. I've made so many mistakes because I didn't understand the nomad thing because it's new to me. So many mistakes, but none of them have been catastrophic. And I feel like they should have been. Like I didn't understand how succession worked, and I was like, oh, now I figured out how this worked. And so then I just spent a bunch of money and fixed it, all my problems. And I, accidentally declared war on somebody. Not accidentally. I was just like, I'm declaring war on this guy. And he had like two times the amount of guys I had. Fucking crushed him. Just crushed him. And it's like, I mean, not in one battle. I just used basic human intelligence to go around his army. Just crushed him and let my allies deal with him. And and it gave me like some huge bonus. And so actually he declared war on me. I told him to go fuck himself, and he declared war on me. And because I didn't care. So it was kind of a mistake. I was just like, I don't care. I'm a Mongol, man. I'm not going to bow to no man. And, I'm role playing. And it's so easy. And so I was wondering, did they give a directive at some point, specifically for CK3? You cannot lose. I remember I was streaming CK3. Now we're just going to talk about CK3 for the next 5 hours. Like I'm running out of time. I'm just talking about CK3. Long time ago, I was streaming CK3, and I wanted to play as the Vikings in northwest France, so like Breton area, and I picked some single county, and I was kind of losing. Like I couldn't get any good. I couldn't expand because everyone was stronger than me, and people kept coming into the chat and they kept saying, just ally with that one dude. He has 10,000 Vikings. Just ally with him. And I'm like, I don't want to ally with him, though. I want to do it alone. And everyone and people just kept appearing in chat. And they'd be like, why haven't you allied with that other Viking? You could just ally with him. Just do it. And I was like, I don't want to. And because I just wanted to have my own I didn't want to ally with this guy with 10,000 Vikings. So anyways, I started to lose the game. I didn't want to lose. So I allied with the guy and we crushed everyone. So I literally think that they have at this point said make it so the player cannot lose unless they really want to lose. And I was wondering if they did that because it's become a different game. It's like not a strategy game anymore. It's like an RPG, but also because you're always going to be. Exactly. You can always increase the settings of difficulty. So you can't turn it down. There's a point where you can't turn it down. So they like if they said instead of having normal is like now is set to easy, and they're like, so make the base game extremely easy, and then the people who want a harder fight can get a harder fight, right? Because you can only turn it down so much. And I'm wondering if that's what they did. They said make the basic game so the player can never lose. The guys who want to do a hardcore strategy game can turn up the difficulty way higher. But yeah, because also even like some of your choices, because you can hover over, in CK3, you can hover over your choices and see what the outcomes are. Casper, how's it going? So you can hover over your choices, so you can pick the least damaging even when you get bad stuff. Weather events like storm, low for earthquake, resource, definitely we want those. Those are going to be a different type though. Let's write them down though, just because they're not going to be an exploration event. Those are going to be other random events. We'll put that in. Yes, this is still a good category. We're going to put this in. Those will be next round though. Random events, and this will be like kind of the butterfly fly events. Yes. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. We'll create it, but we'll edit it. There we go. Weather, definitely. I want to have a weather system at some point. Maybe I'll put that in the random weather until we get to weather systems, because I do want to have it like Hearts of Iron. So definitely want that. And then I'm gonna copy this part. I'll keep this on the clipboard. We'll actually get this whole thing. Thank you. We want a list that's like too much. So there were at one point we're like, no, we're not gonna do that one. You know, instead of like having a list where we're struggling to find events. I want to put earthquake too, because I grew up in San Diego and we're immune to earthquakes, which means we don't care about them. Like rocks could be falling on our heads and I don't give a shit. But I moved to Oregon and I'm scared of volcanoes. Not so much anymore. I've lived here for 20 years. Earthquake. Wait, that's all one word. Earthquake. Create blank. Volcanoes. Definitely. So like I don't think we should do butterfly events for like natural disasters. Volcanoes. But we want to do butterfly events for other type of things. I have not looked at EU5 at all. I saw that there was like some sort of release thing, and from what it sounds, people sound pretty excited about it. Earthquake, lower resources, factories. Definitely so there's gonna be a thing which we haven't even started to work on at all that will be in this your county. Why did that? I guess maybe I hit the. That will be here. That will be the infrastructure for that county. And you're going to have to build buildings to keep the infrastructure up. Because remember, this is post-apocalyptic, so imagine like there's all these freeways and cars that, roads and stuff that are still in use. So we'll slowly start going down. But yes, like earthquake, tornadoes. I didn't add that. Let's do another one here. Tornadoes. Is there tornadoes? Is there an E there? We'll lower that in a county, or we can even, if like with tornadoes that move. And then also we could have it bogged down. You're getting on the hype train? I want to get on the hype. I want EU5 to be amazing. So once again, it's Reddit. Somebody mentioned like, why does trade suck in Victoria 3 compared to Victoria 4? And in the comments, people were talking about, Victoria 3 versus EU 4. And someone in the comments, many people in the comments was like, holy shit, have you seen the trade possibilities in EU 5? Like, and so I was, yeah, because that's a huge thing with Europa Universalis. I was literally like, man, I can't wait to explore the new world with an EU5. Though I always end up playing someone in the new world. I love playing like the Incas or the Aztecs or somebody. Where was I going with this? We're going over here. We put the globals thing in. What's your problem? Oh, you don't need that thing. Well, you can be read-only, but do we need this to be new? Can't we just do that? Have I just fucked myself, though, with that weird error we were getting? Okay, so we gotta go It's actually in county generation. And we got to change those numbers. These numbers here, we need this to be globals instance. What did I call that shit? Terrain, primary terrain effect number. This 6 should be secondary. Secondary. I hate writing on my phone. I'm glad there's more people that hate writing on their phone. I literally despise it. I'll get out of bed if it's important. I'll get out of bed and go to a computer sometimes to type in stuff. Or it's then what happens also a lot of times is I'll be like, oh, when I get back to my computer, I'll just I'll type it in, then I just never do it. Okay, so this should hit those 3 different things now. Those are the events. I don't think we're using, and then we can adjust it as we need to. We don't need, this can be updated. What happened to our problems? I guess it's there, just that one wasn't significant enough. Let's see. Yeah, I should watch a video of EU4, but I kind of want to just buy it and sit down and like, or sorry, EU5, sit down and play it. But I need to temper my expectations because I bought Victoria 3 going in blind. And so I really love to learn how to play a video game just by playing it and making mistakes. You know, being like, oh, all right, well, shit, I'm dead. My country has been defeated. And I usually pick like a tiny country to start just because it has less going on, and then you can kind of like learn and what not to do and what to do. Like you wouldn't, like in Victoria 3, I didn't pick England. I picked Madagascar. Madagascar? I think so. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to that, but I want to temper my expectations because of how Paradox has been releasing these half-finished games, and you got to wait 5 years and buy a ton of DLC. Like the Nomad thing, I was pretty bummed. I spent over $50 on DLC for CK3 for the Nomad, and like I want to have like the crowns or whatever. What are they called? Like I'm gonna look it up and we can all cry together how much money I spent. Crusader Kings. I even paid originally for the season pass or whatever it was called. So I paid for that. Well, I paid for this. I paid for this thing. Chapter 4. How are they fucking me like this? Why am I buying it? Why am I? I'm always shit talking these games. Then I'm like immediately pulling my wallet out. So I wanted these ones. I don't even know what this is. I just bought them. I was just like, I want this. Slavic tire? Arctic attire? I need that. I want my people to look different. Look at these guys. They don't even look good. No, they look kind of cool. Are they worth $5? I don't know. It's optional. You can still put. What is this on these guys' backs? Like I didn't even look at it. I just bought it. I mean, it is optional. So that's the thing is, I don't feel like if this was an indie developer and they released their $10 game and then they also released some of these to continue development, I wouldn't be that upset about it. But it's Paradox where they're releasing a chapter for $43.99 and you don't get this shit for free. Come on, man. Come on. That should be included in my shit up here. I don't think it is. I don't think it will let you buy stuff that's... I gotta skip this song. It's Soundgarden, guys. I know you guys can't hear it, but it's Soundgarden that I'm listening to. I had to skip that. So I can't listen to any Soundgarden ever. That's my rules. Oh, I got some crowns. It's fucking... So Victoria 3, I wasn't as against it until I played it. The more I played it, the less I liked it, which was a bummer. But it was fun for them. I had a lot of fun playing Madagascar. They nerfed Madagascar of all the places. It's now impossible to play. I always go back and I go, oh, this sucks. They took their iron away. Um, yeah, $247 for all this stuff if you were to buy it. It's so expensive for a video game. I haven't done it. I've never done one of their tutorials. I maybe back in the good old days. All right, let's push this code because I've yammered on, but we're getting close. We have a nice growing list of events for. We just got to like throw the percentage in tomorrow. So because we have this number, we probably could do it right now. Honestly, we'll try it one time really quick. And if it doesn't, it should be 0. This is what we want. We want an int. Is it an int? Percentage equals. Global. And then tomorrow we can start adding events and making them work. We're going to have to like kind of fuck with it to get the story events to work, right? And testing. No, you were right. You were right. Now I'm listening to Sleater Kinney. They're pretty good. Wait. Secondary, tertiary. Yeah, I like to fail and learn that way. This percentage should be, we add this together. Well, we'll bring this down so that I can and then this total needs to be, which one comes first? We have our we have this number and we need to divide it by the, are we in county data? We should have a county data in here. It's not dividing though. Exploration events count. And then this isn't going to work, right? Well, then we're going to put this actually. We're going to go percentage. I'm going to ask, this is wrong, so. Well, you know, like, no, I agree with that sentiment. Percentage of the completed exploration. I am going to remove each event that has happened. How do I do that? How do I get just the percentage? But you kind of like, so when I'm learning the game, I'm expecting to fuck it up. So with this Nomad one, I keep wanting to restart because I love restarting because times that I knew I was missing some like incredibly simple thing. Yeah, I knew I was, but I want it to be 0. All right, let's see here. Divide by 0, avoid divide. What? Hey, that was an accidental click. So let's say I'm playing Madagascar and Victoria 3 and I start building a bunch of buildings and my people start starving. I go, oh, I was supposed to build food buildings, of course. And then I restart. And then like, then hopefully the next time I do better. I've been actually playing the same Nomad one. Well, I started one and then immediately restarted because I didn't understand the herder thing. Like it was, I started one, read some stuff, and said, "Oh, okay, I want to restart." And I thought I would be warring more like CK2, but this one I'm just dealing with the issues, and that's where I started to wonder, like, why haven't I lost yet? You know what I mean? Like I can't seem to lose even though I'm making these massive mistakes, and that's what made me start thinking about like they must have given a directive. There's no way that they're doing this on accident. You know what I mean? It's not like this is accidental. They must have been like, hey, look, CK3 is not CK2. We are playing a different game here. 475% explored. That's not right. This returned 475 when it should have returned 0 since nothing has been explored. The problem here is that you're summing global but dividing by the total events. That means if you completed events in other counties, they inflated. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. It doesn't understand what the globals are. I have all the CK2, but I don't want to pay a monthly fee for a video game. It's against my rules. It's against my ethics. County total original explored. The global numbers. These numbers are just. These numbers are just 10, 6, and 3. If you remove events as they complete, then your percentage logic just needs to be up to 19. Exactly. Subtract the current total, then divide the number. Why? See, yeah, brain's not working at all today. Copy. Update percentage explored. Paste. I'm not even bothering to try to do the math. Yeah, so see, I loved the Nomad thing with CK2. CK2, me and my friend played it, though, as allies is the Nomads, and that was way too easy. So CK2 also was pretty easy, but it's not the same. Now it says 78% explored. Oh, because we don't have enough. The problem is we don't have enough events. That's the problem. 78% explored might be right. So if we had enough events, you know what we could do? This might break things. No, this will not break things. And then I'm going to call it a day. Let's go into events. So we'll just duplicate. Come on, man. Don't do this the hard way. No, I think that's actually working. We don't have enough events. We'll fill this up. What we'll do instead is we'll do this. Here, get out of here. We'll do this instead. See, this is why I wanted that in the globals as well. County stuff. 1, 1, 1. Here we go. So we should only have 3. This should be 0. Maybe, unless it's wrong. Then I'll put a note and then I'm calling it a day. 40%. That doesn't work. What does this math say? So this should be 3. Total minus the exploration events. I'm going to put a breakpoint in, motherfucker. That's what I'm going to do. I said I was going to end this, but we're going to hit this debug button. See, I don't even have to do a GD print or nothing. Why didn't I do this a long time ago? This won't run until we do that. Okay, so this will tell us 5. What are you getting this 5 from there? 1, 1, 3. I didn't hit enter. I didn't hit enter. You mother. Redo it. Cancel. Stop. Would 40 have been right? We don't have 3 in there, though. So they're not even denying people who want the... You know, CK2 is good. So I was a EU4 guy, EU3 and 4 person. Like, I was like, yeah, here we go. And then these are not going to work because we didn't set the thing right. Actually, this is probably right. This number is probably right because we probably only had 2 events in here. And so it's 33%. Yeah. So on tomorrow, we can actually start adding events. I was a EU4, like 3 and 4, like diehard, like this is the game. And then Hearts of Iron 2, 3, and 4 was like my secondary game. And I had looked at buying CK2 many times. This is years and years ago. And I just, it seemed like a dumb historical place to pick. I mean, not like a dumb one to pick. It was a good one to pick, but not one I wanted to play. I didn't want to go fucking crusading. That just didn't seem dumb to me. Just like the whole concept of like, oh, okay, so there's gonna be 2 factions. It's gonna be the Christians and the Muslims. It's gonna be just some dumb thing where you just fight back and forth. And then someone or something caused me to give it a shot one day. And then it became by far my like favorite Paradox game. CK2 was because of the kind of role-playing game aspect, but also, so like in EU4 you have leaders and stuff, but they don't mean anything. They're nothing. You know what I mean? They're just some number. You look at him and you go, oh yeah, he's got a 3 in this and a 4. This guy fucking sucks. I hope he dies. But in CK, you know, you have like your kids and sometimes they suck and you want to murder them and you don't want to rule as that guy next or that person next, and you got to marry people. The alliances, I actually kind of liked that they dumbed it down to where it's just a marriage thing, though I kind of now less CK3 I'm the alliances or whatever. But yeah, it immediately shot to like my favorite Paradox game by far. And I was like, man, I wish that they had set up like a way to do Europa Universalis stuff, like it CK2 evolved into that as time went past, so you can keep playing with that kind of concept, but with the better leaders and stuff. But I think that's how EU5 is supposed to be. I think the leaders have more. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I'm trying to avoid it until I buy it, and then I get depressed. I got to keep my expectations low. Let's push this shit to GitHub here. Let's close this. Low expectations will make me like it better. Got random exploration events working and percentage explored on the county info panel. Yammered about Paradox games. What do you want? Why are you showing me this? Push. Are we on the right branch? County exploration. We sure are. All right, let's raid somebody. Who we got on the list? So I love Courtney. I love Courtney Love. I think she's great. But man, a few of her songs are just fucking dog shit, and that was one of them. I know you guys can't hear it. Let's see who's up here. We rated him last week. I don't know that person. Created by creators we related Munglo. All right, we're gonna find somebody new. All of those people we've rated recently. Oh, we can turn that off. We're gonna find someone new to raid here, and go back over here. Yeah, how long until EU5 comes out? We're like years out still, right? What are we're looking for? Let's look for Godot. Because I like this, solidarity with my Godot brothers here. Rated a lot of these people before. Who's this person? Indie Godot Tetris? No release date. It's got to be like years and years out. This guy's only got one viewer. Same with this person. I like the ones where people with their faces too. Let's do it. He's only been up for a minute too, so that's even better. All right, let's raid this guy. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I always preemptively do my outro before we're actually ready to do the raid. And then I'm like, then I sit here in silence and wait. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your existence. Bye.